Hey, what's going on? This is James King Baskin, and I am here now with the man Chandler Thompson, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and his social media handles. And this is going to be a little live that we're doing. We're doing a little coffee talk. And who are you, and how can people find you?
Hey guys, my name is Chandler Thompson with Frank Albert Realty. My Instagram handle is Tampa_turf. You can also find me on Facebook at Chandler Thompson, Realtor. Those are usually the best methods to find me.
Awesome, man. And so you're in the real estate market, and how long have you been doing that for?
So it's about 2.5 years. I'm coming on 3 years relatively soon, probably close to like November, December. I'll be in that 3-year mark. Did it right out of college.
Right out of college?
Yeah.
What'd you go to college for?
So I originally went to school up in Belmont for music. I love the city. Nashville's awesome, but unfortunately I didn't like the school very much. Went to UCF, graduated from there with a human communication degree. Got my license while I was up there right after I graduated and moved back to Tampa.
Awesome. So you've been in real estate 3 years now, and you're local here. We're at Davis Island, and you're local Davis Island guy, right?
Well, technically. So my parents live on the islands. They're on Riviera, and they've been here for about like 8 or 9 years, something like that. Originally grew up in South Tampa. I live in Seminole Heights now, but I come down here all the time, so I know it through and through.
Awesome. And there's so many questions I can, get out of that, because we were talking about the Seminole Heights market beforehand. And obviously I've been in Tampa for a few years, and you've been here all your life pretty much. And
Born and raised.
Seminole Heights went from what was it like back in the day?
Back in the day, Seminole Heights has seen a roller coaster. Through and through, because every time I do open houses up there, I've met people there who've lived there for 30, 40 years, and they've seen a roller coaster that keep going up and down, up and down. Past 5 or 6 years, specifically about 5 years ago or so, the Heights started to see a renovation process that not a lot of people thought was possible. And now it's probably one of the top markets in all of Tampa. I live there, I love it, I breathe it. One of the best communities. I love it to death.
Awesome, man. And got the Facebook crash going on, so if anyone could hear us, it doesn't even show. Usually it loads on us, so
it's all good.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Instagram's down today too. So.
Instagram is down, and that actually brings up my next question with you. And how has Instagram been for your business?
When I first started it was a bit slow. I've started to find out as I've grown my Instagram page that people like visual, and that's why Instagram's so successful in what it is, especially with the housing market. There's never a time where people don't want to see houses, and nice houses at that. So I figured there was a way to promote that on my Instagram like a lot of other realtors have, and I just sort of found what works for me, and I do consistent videos, walkthroughs, photos of new listings, new properties coming up. I promote other people's listings, and it's probably been the biggest growth that I've seen, the most growth out of my business from it, mainly because I have people messaging me all the time saying, hey, we're looking for a house, we see that you do a lot of business in this area, or you look like a great realtor, etc., whatever it may be. But Instagram's got me more business than I can imagine.
No way. So they're actually going into the DMs, and they're actually messaging you.
Every time I post a walkthrough or post a new house, I can say I get at least probably 1 to 2 DMs on every post. And that's either potential people looking to buy a house, maybe people just commenting, stating how much they like the house, etc. But it keeps up a presence and an awareness, and as a realtor, that's very important.
Interesting. Do you have any specific hashtags you like to use?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of I sort of abuse hashtags a bit just because I've been on the social media game for a while. I used to work for an influencer marketer before, and the entire concept of social media, we pretty much were the middleman between clients and big-time companies doing campaigns.
Okay.
So I sort of learned from that, took it to Instagram. I do 30 hashtags per post. I change them up every now and then, vary, just because Instagram's changed their algorithm so many different times that it's hard to keep up sometimes on what works and what doesn't. Sometimes if you use too many hashtags, they'll actually
penalize you?
Penalize you for
Interesting.
it, and make your post not as known. The issue, Instagram used to be chronological when they weren't ad-based, so majority of your content would get shown to the people who follow you. Nowadays, it's mainly paid advertising, so literally your post is barely getting shown to anyone who follows you.
Interesting. And that actually, I did not know that about you. That actually brings up probably a little discussion, like a mini discussion, because obviously we've been using Instagram, both of us, for a little while.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like, remember, like, you could do like hashtags and you would get followers and people would
100%.
message you.
Yeah,
and it was
that's
like,
the thing. Like,
before Facebook went on, of course.
when Instagram was not focused on advertisements, and they were just easily the best platform for social media, just because they weren't greedy like that. They just sort of understood that people wanted a platform to share photos, and that was it.
Yep.
I gained followers like crazy. When I had my personal account, I was an influencer at one point from the young company I was working with, because I had about 50,000 followers, which isn't that much, and that's not meant to be bragging. Like,
that's huge to me.
But it was sort of a nice accomplishment, mainly because that was a music profile. Like, I posted all my records, going to shows, stuff like that, and a little bit of fashion stuff here and there, but nothing prominent. And I gained followers consistently.
Yep.
The issue with that is a lot of those followers were like fake accounts.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and I started to realize that, so I ended up deleting like half of my following. My personal account still has about 8,000, 9,000 followers, but a lot of them were just ghost accounts that weren't doing anything.
Really? Okay.
So, I mean, it's a bit of a hit or miss scenario. I still love Instagram, but at the same time, I only know I'm getting so much out of it.
Yeah.
Because not many people are seeing my stuff.
Interesting. There's so much. I mean,
engagement's the key. If you engage with other profiles, they'll engage back.
So what, like commenting on their stuff or following, and not unfollowing them?
Well, the thing is, Instagram's getting a little strict on that now too. They changed their algorithm again.
Wow.
To where they're making it more difficult to like mass engage. There's limitations to how you can do it, but there's also programs and people who do that for a business. They'll engage from you.
Oh yeah.
So you gain organic people from it because all they're doing is following and liking photos.
Yep.
They're not doing anything else, and that in turn is getting people to like your stuff. It's like I scratch your back, you scratch my type of platform, I guess.
I told you I wouldn't do it, but I'm going to break promise. Quick plug for us: we will do that for you. If you want to outsource Instagram stuff, we will do that for you. But that's crazy, man. My mind's just like, I got so much real estate stuff I want to ask you, but I love when people talk about the old school Instagram days, because no one ever talks about it. Like, everyone's just like, oh, what it's now? It's like, you got to spend money, man. Yeah. Back in the day, man, it was like semi, like, I would call them like a B-list band, like, would like one of your photos. It was like, you put a hashtag, and next thing you know, I'm like, wait, I think I heard of this band back in like the early 2000s, and I'm like, this is cool.
I think Twitter took over that.
Really?
Casually, because like Twitter's become a mechanism for, I see it all the time, like even bigger bands or bigger artists or Hollywood actors, whatever, you can tweet them, and more than likely you're more than likely going to get a reply back on Twitter, or recognition on Twitter rather than any other platform.
Wow.
Which is interesting to me, because I've done that too. I've actually tweeted at bands I know or like want to know or listen to, and they tweet back, and they're relatively bigger bands. I'm like, if I did that on Instagram, I'd never get a response. Wouldn't happen. And well, today at least. Back in the day, different story. But Instagram, it took me a while to even hop on the train for Instagram. I didn't even like it when it first came out. I was just sort of a Facebook dude through and through, but then I realized why people like Instagram so much. Same with Snapchat.
It was like a bunch of like little picturesque photos with like 5 filters back in the day, and
no photos of that great either.
And it was just like, you could just make your photo just like a shade of gray and like brighten it up a little bit. I remember I would just make a post, man, and it would be like, my friends would like it, and then all these other random people, I had no idea. I think honestly what probably was the biggest thing that pushed it was there weren't as many users. Yeah. So it was like you could get found easier because it wasn't as saturated.
It's very saturated now. The thing is, Instagram #1 rule, if you want to get following, you have to be attractive. That's usually the #1 thing.
Count me out.
Like, it's just so dumb. Like, that's the golden rule of Instagram nowadays, is either be attractive, be half naked, or already have a following.
Instagram models. Yeah, well, my second favorite subject involved in Instagram is Instagram models.
I talk about it all the time too, man.
Oh man.
The whole Instagram model thing is, I mean, good for you. You found a way to find a job from being attractive, and Instagram pays you great. Because once again, as an influencer marketer, I know how much we were paying, or how much these big companies were paying these people.
Instagram models?
Yeah, or like big time bloggers or whatever.
Okay.
So basically, what we were the middleman. We would create the campaign and find the people for those big companies. Say Coca-Cola, for instance, would come to us and be like, "We want to do a 2-month campaign on this with our product, and we need you to find content creators pretty much with this big of a following or more and we'll review them and see if we like them.
Wow.
So we did, and they come back and say we like these 10, and we even worked with like Viners for like a 6-second Vine. If they did like a product placement of like 2 seconds, they make like $50,000. It was unbelievable.
The Vine days, man.
Dude, Vine is my favorite thing ever to exist.
I miss Vine.
I quote it all the time.
Shout out to TikTok.
No.
Shout out to
I
TikTok.
refuse to shout out TikTok.
Lil Nas X
God,
blowing up off TikTok.
I hate it.
I can understand why you hate it.
TikTok is so...
I
don't
totally.
even understand it.
I'm right there with you, but I gotta give the respect to this guy for blowing up on a free platform from what used to be. It was Vine or what?
No. TikTok was Musical.ly.
TikTok was Musical.ly,
At one point.
but I think Musical.ly was one of the creators from Vine.
Oh, was it?
So I think there's a correlation with eventually. Obviously, it's like
I mean, that makes sense. Is that how Lil Nas blew up? TikTok?
TikTok, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I might not be like the best musician in people's eyes, but I mean, I got to give credit for attention.
He made a hit. He
made a hit
to make it work.
Yeah, and
I'll give him credit for it.
Yeah,
I hate the song just because
dude, totally, I
much.
totally get that.
I can't do it anymore.
This is crazy, man. Like, I'm obviously got Chandler here for real estate stuff, but
social media.
Social media, man. I did Instagram growth hacks, man. I could probably turn this into a whole talk on Instagram growth hacks, and I think I'm probably going to ask some real estate questions, but I'm also going to kind of gear them more toward your Instagram because I know that you have thousands of followers, and I know that, I mean, you just said it yourself, in your own words, you deleted the people that weren't real followers, and that was a real thing back in the day. I mean, I remember the biggest person that got busted was Akon, and it was like, Facebook put something out and like it got rid of all the ghost followers and he dropped like 3 million like instantly, and it was like there was like no like.
I feel like that's something a lot of people can't control either, though. At the same time, you get those people that are following you, However, if people were buying them, that's a whole different market. And I know I'm not going to blast any names.
Yeah, sure.
I know some people obviously who've done that for like real estate purposes and other things too. And I'm like, when you're getting. Partially, this is Instagram's fault or whatever, but I know, say, an Instagram account with 10,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
But they get about 50 likes per post.
Yeah.
Something's clearly wrong there.
It's a giveaway.
Even though their algorithm sort of screws you over nowadays. Because even with, like, take Justin Bieber, for instance. When Instagram changed the algorithm first to more advertiser-friendly and, like, not chronological anymore, basically what they're doing is they're saying, we think you'll like this post by your friend, so we're going to show it to you. If we don't think you'll like this other one, we won't.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber lost like 50% of his like count. It was unbelievable.
It's crazy.
He's got like 50 million followers or something ridiculous. So.
I think he had the biggest, and as we're doing this video, I gotta say that right now Facebook and Instagram are both down, so this is even better. It's a perfect example of not stopping and just continuing what you're doing. Like, who cares if Facebook shut down? The show goes on. And it's like, I'm not even sure if this is going to take on Facebook. We got a backup recording going on right now, so I've always have a plan, a second plan as a backup. Plan B, exactly. But a perfect example of Justin Bieber, man, like huge. I think he actually just got beat by that Shark song on YouTube for the most plays, dude. 1.5 billion views.
I thought Gangnam Style had a beat the entire time.
I think the Shark song has 1.5 billion and Gangnam Style was 1 billion.
Because I also know Despacito or whatever is getting up
big
there
hit,
too.
Big hit.
That's over 1 billion.
Yep.
I watched a video on that the other day.
Interesting.
It's like the top 10 most viewed YouTube videos of all time.
Wow.
Gangnam Style topped everybody forever. And I think Bieber slowly brought up.
The Biebs, man. The Biebs brings them out. So I think we've talked about social media. People are sliding in the DMs and they're like, "What? I want to look at a house."
Essentially, I mean, it obviously,
not in a creepy style, but like
it's obviously comes down to more. You still have to convert.
Yeah,
that's the big thing about it.
Huge.
I mean, they probably follow 5 other realtors on Instagram too. It's just a matter of getting their information. Make sure you do it the best way and you can relate to them. I'm really personable with most of my clients.
Okay.
I'm like best friends with all my clients, so it's more of a matter of am I the right person for you? Because I mean, real estate nowadays, I mean, you can talk numbers all you want, but a lot of people want someone they can actually relate to and not just sell them on stuff 24/7.
Huge. and that goes back to sales psychology 101. People buy from who they like, know, and trust.
Well, what's the funny thing about it, especially from a buying perspective, majority of my clients are buyers, and that's not necessarily on purpose, but it's just sort of what navigates to me. And I love working with buyers. It's a bit of an emotional process, but at the same time, I'm able to educate them on things like that, and it makes it way easier. But I tell them most of the time, I'm not a salesman. I'm really not. Like, people in real estate could be like, you need to be like the best salesman possible, etc. You're in sales. It's like, yes, technically, but at the same time, I consider myself more of a consultant than a salesman, because I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to help you find your dream home, not necessarily sell it. If you don't like something, I'm not going to try to sell you. It's not my job.
Amen. And that's, I respect that a lot. I mean, and I'm sure you can make this next statement. You probably educate a lot of people before they even end up buying, right?
100%. I mean, the one big thing I do, and it's always the most difficult process trying to get someone to sit down with you, obviously, if they don't know you yet. But I always try to have a face-to-face. The first thing I always do is I go over the criteria, what they want in detail, try to get their needs down. And the second thing, I pull out a contract and say, look, this is the buying process. This is what you should expect. And just so there will be speed bumps along the way, but this is how we're going to get over them. That way, when something does happen, they're not trying to claw my throat out because I didn't tell them something, but at the same time, they're like, "Oh, you did tell us this. We appreciate that. Now we're ready for it."
So you could lose that client if you don't educate them.
100%. Well, some agents are like big on buyer's movement agreements, like having them sign something saying you're working with them, etc. I don't do that just because I base everything off transparency. One, I don't want my buyer signing something right away because I feel like it's a little strange. It'll probably scare someone.
Sign here, 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 and here.
Yeah, but at the same time, I base everything on transparency, which is super dangerous at the same time because people don't like being honest a lot of the time, which is fair. But at the same time, if I'm not the right realtor for you, I show you 100 homes and you don't like me anymore, that's fine. I understand that. Like, that's just part of the job.
And, you know, quick plug, and I'm actually going to put this in the title of the video. How many deals a month on average you doing?
I'm probably doing about 2 or 3 a month, which isn't bad. At least I consider it pretty good. Definitely more than the average realtor, I'd say. But at the same time, I'm just trying to continue to grow more and more every year.
Yep. And I'm like the I despise statistics, but I think I'm willing to bet 90% of realtors don't sell one home a year.
I think majority of realtors, if I remember correctly, the average realtors in like the entire U.S. sells like it's like 8 to 10 homes maybe.
That sounds huge for some of the people I know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. 90%. Florida's an interesting one because Florida, I think, is the second most saturated state when it comes to realtors and how many realtors there are. And the issue with real estate is, one, it's really easy to get your license.
Yeah.
Like, it's super simple. And a lot of people might hate on me for that, but it is. It's not hard. Like, you take the class exam, which they practically give you the answers to, and then you take the state exam, which, yes, 50% of people fail it the first time, and 50% of people fail it the second time. The state exam's an SAT. None of it is relevant to what you learn in real estate in real life. None of it. So, once you pass that, by chance, you could probably guess half the answers if you really wanted to.
It's
and
crazy.
Then people don't realize you start learning real estate by being tossed in the fire.
Amen.
That's why you need a good mentor. Join a team when you first start. Get some training. That's where you go. I mean, that's what I did when I first started. I was just training with Keller Williams, and at some point I needed a mentor. Got the mentor, switched, and I've learned everything since. But you make one mistake, you'll never make it again. You learn from it. That's how it operates.
Yeah. Especially when those mistakes cost you money.
100%. Well, that, and it might cost your clients money.
Yep.
That's the bigger issue, or it might cost some massive issue with your clients. When you're dealing with a massive personal buying process,
Biggest financial transaction of some people's lives.
People are going to freak out about that, and they're welcome to. That's their choice, and they should. It's a big personal decision, but at the same time, you have to be willing to learn. And if you don't know something, be honest about it, but figure it out. You know, and you will figure it out, and at that point, your clients will appreciate it. Just because at least you're open to learning, you're educating yourself.
There's so much to take out of that because it's crazy like how much like on the same wavelength that I can tell that we're on the same wavelength on a lot of stuff, and what I'm gonna say it might hurt someone's feelings. I really don't care at this point if it hurts anyone's feelings, especially when it comes to real estate and just anything that's easy to get into. If there's a low barrier entry to get into something, it's not worth doing in the long run because everyone's going to be doing it. It's saturated. If there's a high barrier entry point, there's abundance, but in order to get that, we both know hard work, dedication.
Yeah, of course. It's the same concept as if, like, if you want to become a lawyer, you have to take, 4 or 5 years more at school? Or if you want to become a doctor, you have to bust your ass until you're, 30 years old. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I think we're far enough in that YouTube didn't catch it.
Until, you're 30 years old, in order to start making some money. And even then, you're not guaranteed to make money. The thing about real estate is it's super easy to get your license. A lot of people have a misconception of what real estate is and what it involves. I've had so many people come up to me and be like, your job's cushy. Like it's a joke. And I'm like, okay.
You try doing 2 to 3 deals a month.
Yeah. Well, that's not, I obviously don't say it like that, but I also would be like, they'll be like, I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm like, cool, that's fine. I've gotten to the point where I don't have to do that because I've implemented my business to make it work. And I base everything off referrals and everything like that.
Yep.
But at the same time, my job's not easy. You want to start dealing with.
Let's go back. I hate to cut in real quick because that's actually one of the questions I wanted to get. What was it like early days? How many hours a week?
Oh God, 45, 50 plus. It's probably not as much as a lot of people think. But the issue is you're giving up a lot of free time when you're first starting because you don't know what you're doing.
No weekends.
Exactly. So I did 2 or 3 open houses every single week in my first year, and I think I took maybe 2 weekends off the entire year. So a lot of people don't want to do that.
No partying, no clubbing.
I'm fortunate.
No beach days.
Well, that's the thing. I'm fortunate, one, I don't go to the beach much. I don't drink and I don't party, so it made it much easier for me. But at the same time, that's 2 to 3 hours out of your day on a weekend. What else are you doing?
Yeah.
Why not? Try to get business from it. My entire first year, 99% of my business came from open houses.
Wow.
And it's just sort of grinding out to make it work.
Grassroots marketing still works. I mean, I know there's people that watch this that are like, whatever, I'm not going to go there, but grassroots marketing still works. People to people, face to face.
If I can meet someone face to face, I can almost guarantee I can get someone's business. And that's not me.
Just bump that. Amen to that.
And that's not me being like cocky about it. That's more of like, I'd rather meet someone face to face to obviously get to know you, get to know who you are, what you want, and it's way more personal that way. If I'm just talking to you via Instagram for 5 months, I'm not going to really get to know who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't help you on a certain level if I were to meet you in person.
Interesting. Yeah, and grassroots marketing, it's crazy how like we're sitting here together right now. We connected over text message, talked, I asked you to do this for me, and here we are face to face. We've known each other before and seen each other before, and it's crazy how so many people will try to push everything as and this is what I see a lot of people trying to push the sales cycle to, is where you never have to meet me, but purchase something highly expensive from me, and why am I not having success?
I know a few realtors who do that.
And they having success with that?
Some, but one realtor I know who does it specifically. It's really interesting. They came into these clients came into, not my clients, but they came into an open house, buyers, and I got to know them. We had a lot of rapport, but then I was like, hey, do you have a realtor? And they said, yeah. I said, oh, cool. Who is it? It ended up being someone I know.
Okay.
I was like, oh, cool. How long have you been working with, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, well, we haven't met him yet. How long have you been looking? 2 or 3 months?
It's crazy.
What do you mean you haven't met him yet? They're like, oh, he mainly just talks to us via, Instagram video or Facebook video and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, more power to you, but that seems absurd to me that you have a client that you haven't met in 2 or 3 months because you're talking to them on social media the whole time.
Just doing your clients a disservice, I feel like.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know he's a great realtor, but I also know he has the system in place to where he can make that work because he's a pretty big agent.
Okay.
It's great for him. He's a great dude, love him to death, good realtor. But at the same time, I can't imagine being a buyer not knowing my own realtor in person. It's
weird, man. I actually had a guy on my Facebook Live a while back, actually, now that I think about it. I was thinking to myself, as I'm on this interview, I was thinking, have we ever had a realtor? And I had my buddy Rob on, who's a realtor in Tampa also. And we were talking about, before he meets them, he's actually, they're getting ready, and they might already be this way, and if he watches this, he'll probably message me, with 3D, with virtual reality, before he meets with the client. But he actually goes and meets with them, but they've already, 3D, online. And now I can see that, still being the future, still thinking future, but still, I want to meet with someone. I want to shake your hand. I want to like actually be in contact. Like I want to know you're like not even so much like are you in my area, but like
you can't gauge someone's personality online.
Yeah, man.
Everyone has a fake persona, so it's like I know some friends who do Instagram and stuff like that, and who they are on Instagram is nowhere close to what they are on
Instagram star, man.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with real estate, you know. And the funny thing about that is, it is so difficult trying to get someone to meet up with you in person sometimes because they expect you got to sell them on something. And I'm like, no, I'm here to, one, educate you, two, help you if you need my help, three, I am free to you. Buyer's agents are free. If you want to look for a house and use a buyer's agent, we are free to you. And a lot of people don't know that.
They think it costs money.
Yeah, they think we cost money to sit down with me. I'm like, no, I can show you 100 houses and you can fire me and I don't make a dime.
Yeah.
That's how that works. So, like, at that point, why wouldn't you want to meet with someone at least to get a feel of it?
It's crazy. My neighbor here on the island, I remember one day, he's literally got like all these papers printed, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm thinking about moving. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to all the for sale by owners and I'm visiting them. And I'm like, that's cool, but you know that you can literally hire or find a realtor that will not charge you any money.
Well, on the listing side, it costs money.
Of course.
Yeah.
So if you're a seller, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, like that's where the commission comes into play. But, oh wait, he was trying to find for sale owners to buy?
Yes, without a realtor.
Wow.
He was trying to do it all himself. And I'm like, dude, why are you bashing your brains in? Why like,
you can literally handle someone for free to do the work for you and represent you.
And people don't know that. Some people literally think that this is going to be a financial transaction I'm going to lose money on, and they're the buyer. And
that's why I try to specialize in first-time home buyers a lot of the time, because I enjoy the aspect of educating someone on what the process is going to entail.
Interesting.
Like, a lot of people don't like that because it's a lot of people consider more of a burden because it's a lot of hand-holding. But that's our job, you know. We have to educate. We have to consult on this is what we need to do, and people are trusting us with that. So that's part of the job I love, honestly. First-time home buyers are my favorite.
And they have classes for that. So I did, like all these things that are popping in my head as I'm talking to you. Do companies actually market that as classes to educate people so they turn the leads? Or
I've been debating doing that myself.
Okay.
So there are classes for that, and even like lenders will do classes for that, or like a first-time home buyer course, whatever.
Which is a lead magnet.
Yeah, technically, yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't realize I set up
long-term.
Yeah, long-term, but I'd be happy. Like, if anybody ever wanted to get an education course on what the buying process entails, I will sit down with anyone. I don't care if you're looking to buy or not. I will take time out of my day to explain to you this is how that works. So long as maybe in the near future, if you want to buy something, message me. Wow. All it takes.
It's funny, man. I'm not naming anyone, but I saw we have some mutual friends, and I saw a post recently of some girl that we both know, and all these realtors were like, why didn't you buy from me? And I'm just like, this shark muddy in the waters, and I'm like, there's like all these realtors just like, hey, hit me up, and I'm just like, this is so good to watch.
Well, it's one thing when it's like, if it was a very close friend of yours and they never reached out to you, never told you anything about something, I can understand how some realtors are like, okay, that's messed up, you should have at least contacted me. But at the same time, things happen. Like, when I first started, it was a massive problem because I used to let everything get to me. I'd be like, why didn't they use me? Why did I lose this deal? Why did buyers ghost me? Which is like a buyer's favorite thing to do sometimes.
Ghost. Buyers are liars.
Yeah. I mean, I'll work with someone for 4 to 5 months and everything will go well. One day they're like, we absolutely love you. The next day they don't reply to my text for 7 months straight. It's like, what did I do? Yeah. Like, and I told them from the first day I met them, transparency is the only thing I ask and require from anyone. And people don't want to do it.
That's crazy.
But, I don't know. It's just I totally forgot what I was talking about.
Basically, you know, a buyer contacting you when you're like 40 years from now.
Well, yeah, but no, like with the Facebook post, like when I first started, I used to literally let everything get to me. I get really upset. One deal would go wrong, and then my mentor taught me that. He's like, look, if you get upset over one deal, all your deals are going to go bad. Move on, get over it, find another deal. So that's pretty much what I did. And now if someone's just like, hey, I went with someone else, I'm like, okay, cool, move on, find another lead.
Yep.
Like, that's all you can do.
Move on quick. And you just hit on something that I just discussed yesterday on a Facebook Live. The importance of finding a mentor early on. And I also even discussed paying a mentor. Obviously in real estate you're not paying a mentor, but
you can. You can pay coach and the real estate coach.
Yep.
100%.
And there's value on both sides of that.
Yeah, I know people in my brokerage. We have a coach, and our broker paid for coaching sessions for like a solid, I think it was like a 4-week or 5-week session, and he taught us a ton. And his entire program is don't chase business, let business come to you.
Yeah.
And he taught us, and that's how he grew his business. And he owned like 60 brokerages at one point. It was like absurdly successful. And he's like, I don't call FSBOs, I don't call expireds, I don't cold call anyone. I literally base it off the people I know who bought from me, who know me, create a sphere, follow up with them every month, and provide value. Providing value is the biggest thing. You can't just call someone and be like, hey, know anyone who wants to buy real estate?
Yeah.
Because they're going to laugh in your face and be like, why do you keep calling? Even if it's a friend of yours.
But some people do have that experience.
Of course. But the thing is, like, if I were to call you literally every month and be like, hey, have any friends in real estate? Or like looking for real estate, you'd probably get sick of it pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And I get it. I mean, I get it in my inbox.
100%. So it's more of you have to provide some type of value. And he's obviously taught us how to do that. I'm not going to lay that out there right here and right now.
But, absolutely.
But yeah, people in our brokerage, they pay for a coach. Or when I left Keller Williams, it was because I was asked to be a buyer's agent for who I currently work with, Frank Albert. And
does he come here? Is that where you met?
No.
Okay.
Ironically, Kaylee, who is also a real estate agent with us, I met her in an open house, had a very good conversation, left, and then Frank messaged me on Facebook like 2-3 weeks later.
Interesting.
And said, hey man, Kaylee reached out to me and said she thought you'd be a great part of her team. I'm trying to build one up right now. I'd like to interview with you. So I did.
Once again, team.
Yeah.
The importance of a team.
It took me like a month or two to even say yes, but then I finally was like, you know what? Majority of my leads are buyers. I'm being fed leads, and in the process, I get a mentor. And in that process, he's taught me everything I know. Literally. I can text him at any point of the day. It may take a while because he's a busy dude, but he gets back to me.
Is it safe to say, and don't take this the wrong way, that he's probably made less money in time that he's given you than what it's meant for you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he's probably spent hours helping you with that. His time.
Well, that's all of his agents too, though, because now he's a broker. That wasn't even like a long-term goal of his, but he opened up a brokerage, he saw the opportunity, and now we're under his brokerage, Frank Albert Realty. And we have a very close-knit type group of agents who all produce $4 or $5 million plus a year volume, which is pretty decent. Definitely more than the average agent, and that's the main goal. We would just want to have a niche, successful brokerage, and the good thing about knowing your broker and having a personal relationship with your broker is you can always rely on someone for helping you.
Huge.
If you're in a massive company, and I'm not shooting on Keller Williams or anything, I was with Keller Williams, it's not for everybody, but the hard thing about that sometimes is you can't always get in contact with the higher-ups sometimes when needed. So it's like you're a tiny fish in a massive ocean. You know? So, but it's not for everybody. Some people live, breathe, and die by Keller Williams. Other people want a smaller brokerage and don't want to do that.
And kind of went deep, and I'm gonna reserve some little fun to the end. So no gang signs for K-Dubs, and favorite hip hop group.
Throwing a segue out there.
Yep.
Favorite old school hip hop group.
Old school. Yep.
Tribe Called Quest, by far.
Yeah.
The very first record is honestly probably my favorite. But Nas, I like a lot. People Under the Stairs, always go-tos. I do a lot of old school hip hop.
Old school.
I do a lot of new school hip hop too, though. Like
who you listen to now? New school.
There's an artist named Odyssey. He's really good. He was actually at the Gasparilla Music Festival here not too long ago. Run the Jewels are always great. I like a lot of people on the Rhymesayers entertainment label, which is like POS, A$AP Rock.
Love.
Not A$AP Rocky.
I know A$AP Rock. I know A$AP Rock though. Okay. Before A$AP Rocky, there was A$AP Rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then LP, who is a member of Run the Jewels, same with Killer Mike, Atmosphere.
Oh man, those are Who were some of the other groups back in the day with A$AP Rock, Atmosphere?
All those dudes. LP was back in the day. He's been around for a long time.
Oh man, it's going to give me a brain fog. I'm trying because man, I really can't even think of there's all these like there at that time. If you listen to like Atmosphere, there was all these other groups that were just very similar. That like if you listen to them, you had to listen to this group,
well,
and they all were like.
Yeah, they're all very similar to each other.
And there was one group that maybe it was A$AP Rock, but there was one group that was like rap, and they would have like rock integrated with it.
POS does that a lot.
Okay.
And his Doomtree is his group.
Okay.
Which is really good. I listen to a lot of Cunning Linguist. I love them.
Okay.
But yeah, now Doomtree is his thing with 4 other members, I think. A really, really good thing. It's just sort of like really aggressive hip hop.
Interesting. It's just crazy. Like around that A$AP Rock period, I remember like someone had showed me all these different groups that were like all very like not similar, but it was just like if you knew one, it's just crazy. Like